But let's get to it. So the big news today, new Star Wars footage from Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker has dropped. Have you guys had a chance to see it yet?
Yes.
Yep. And slow motion and everything.
Yep. And it's pretty unimpressive from what I've seen. It's funny, the leaks that were coming out of D23, they were like of the leaks from Celebration, actually, where they were like, oh, here's the footage. And I was like, this is just footage from the first Skywalker trailer. And it turns out that was the only thing that was available because it wasn't copy stricken. And Lucasfilm was going to be releasing the stuff on Monday. But we now have the actual footage, and we're going to go through it here and get your reactions and all that good stuff. So basically, the first minute or so of this new footage is just stuff from the original trilogy and the prequels, all the good stuff. And then we get into the sequel trilogy and then the new Rise of Skywalker footage. Now, this is the first new shot that we get. We can see that it is the main group, Rey, Poe, and Finn with Chewie, and they're overlooking some type of desert bazaar or Burning Man or whatever this thing is. We got kites in the air, and if you look closely at these figures, they look to be either Ewoks or Jawas. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, because of their stature, they're short.
Well, yeah, like if you kind of
they're kind of in robes and stuff.
Yeah, but they have like an Ewok-y feel to them. Either that or they're Jawa, like they're very colorful Jawas or something. But there's this theory that this movie takes place mostly on Endor, and because of the crash of the Death Star onto it, it's decimated the landscape. So these could be, Ewoks 30 years later on a ruined Endor. So I guess that's always a possibility.
Was there a desert scene in the Ewok movies, or was it all in the forest?
All forest.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen those in forever, so.
Yeah. So our next thing here is a picture of Carrie Fisher, Leia, and she is in a forest backdrop. And then we get Story of a Generation. And
do you think that's the only scene that they're going to have her in?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not going to be on it much.
Well, they decided not to go with digital Leia, so they just have to work with footage that they have, and so they can't really draw that out all that much.
Which, I mean, I can't really blame them. I'm actually kind of glad that they're not trying to do a Tarkin with her. It's too soon for that.
I wish they did a Tarkin with her. I would have rather seen like what they had originally planned. And
really?
And it wasn't like Carrie Fisher wasn't alive to give her consent. Like she signed on for 3 movies,
Yeah.
So anyway, we got a shot here of some vintage X-Wings, some A-Wings, some Y-Wings, and some B-Wings. So we're definitely getting some of the old ships back.
B-Wings are my favorite.
I wonder where these were in The Last Jedi. They would have come.
So that wouldn't that little squadron right there have to be piloted by literally everybody they saved from Crate? So that would be about everybody, right?
Well, this is there's a time jump between Last Jedi and this one, so they probably found some people to fly these.
I'm trying to be funny, Matt. Come on.
This is an interesting ship right here. This one looks familiar to me, but I can't quite place it. I think it's from one of the video games, actually.
Is that the Ghost from Rebels?
Oh, that might be. It's interesting.
I don't know. I'd have to look at it closer.
And then we got the Blockade Runner, the Corellian Corvette, I believe. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I like this shot. It's a cool feeling having these ships come out. Which I thought it was kind of weird that they're apparently coming out of hyperspace, but they're already in atmosphere over this planet that they're on. But
that's a big giant splash of member berries coming out of hyperspace. So,
But they've been exiting out of hyperspace in atmosphere since The Force Awakens, so I guess we shouldn't be surprised about that. Let's see here if we move. Okay, so we got lots of Star Destroyers, a ton of them.
Those are all Empire era, right?
Yeah,
those aren't First Order Star Destroyers.
Like we can see just how many of them.
Wow.
We got them all lined up in a row. across the sky. I feel like this might be like a flashback or some type of vision, or something.
So,
but then
real
again,
quick, can we talk about that scene real quick?
Yeah.
The Star Destroyers, do you guys remember the storyline in the Thrawn trilogy where they found this hidden armada of ships that had been tucked away from the Empire? Do you think they're going to play into that?
No, I honestly think that this is either a vision or this is, the First Order and their like salvage fleet or something. I honestly don't think it's anything as clever as what was in the EU. A caveat to that is that we have it juxtaposed with this image of Finn and this new character looking at something, and this could be them looking at all the Star Destroyers and being like, "Oh gosh, we're in deep poodoo or whatever."
That's Lando's daughter, right?
Is it?
I think so.
I don't think that's official.
But
I think that's strictly speculation. Yeah.
All right.
Just because she's a strong, independent black woman does not mean Lando's daughter. She don't need no man like Lando.
Not everybody has to be related.
Yes, they do. Come on now.
All right, so now
Go ahead.
Oh.
What were you going to say, Alex?
I was like, this is my favorite shot right here. I was so excited I couldn't help myself.
So we have evil 3PO.
It's just fantastic.
He's evil because he's got the red eyes. Either that or he's hungover. So this is drunk 3PO after a night of partying.
You must not recognize me because of the red eyes.
At least his arm's not red anymore, right?
Yeah, he traded in the red arm for the red eyes.
Now they can sell more action figures of 3PO with red eyes.
Oh, yeah. You have the regular 3PO and then the red eye 3PO.
Yep.
My theory is that Palpatine, his essence takes over 3PO. So what we're really looking at here is Emperor Palpatine.
Sweet. Yeah.
Everyone's thinking it's Matt Smith, but it's actually 3PO.
It would be so funny if Palpatine just jumps across each character, like he possesses Kylo, then Rey, then 3PO. He just keeps jumping across.
Yeah, pull a Darth moment, right?
Well, people are saying like, oh, well, 3PO was built by Darth Vader, so he's got special dark side powers.
Anakin was like 8 years old.
Still, it was Vader. Vader created him.
I always thought that was dumb.
The maker.
Oh, Vader created 3PO.
Now this is an interesting one. We get a image of, and this goes by really quick in the footage. We get an image of a freaking laser beam from the sky, hitting what looks to be some type of planet. It's hard to say. Like I think this might be the planet that we saw in the first trailer with the ship is going into land where Carrie Russell's character was, or something like that. But I mean, who knows? This looks kind of like a smaller version of the Starkiller laser, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm thinking if you play the clip, you don't have to play it, but when you're watching it, it actually pulses like this initial hit, and then it kind of like gets bigger for a second. It kind of gives like a pulse, and then it really hits hard and it blows that area up. Go ahead, Matt.
No. I was just going to be stupid, but you finish your thought.
I was going to say, this planet, like, it's a good thing that you mentioned that with that new character is on that planet with the ship with the snow and the rocks. This also matches the planet that Kylo Ren in a couple of minutes gets off and walks through the snow with a bunch of rocky background. So I think there's a lot that's going to happen on this one planet. And this is also the same nighttime sky snow planet that we see the evil Rey come up in a minute too.
It's also the same kind of hue and sky that we saw all those Star Destroyers lined up with a minute ago.
Exactly.
I think they're using the laser beam to drill a hole to the center of the planet, and they're going to put a drop of this red crap in it that they cause singularity in a black hole to destroy the planet. So
and then the Enterprise comes out at warp speed.
Yeah.
So now we've got this shot of Rey in a forest, and she's obviously training. We got the training drone right here. She's throwing her lightsaber because she doesn't actually need anyone to train her. She's training herself. She can cut down trees.
Don't know that yet.
I didn't even notice the training drone the first time I watched it this morning. So
no, you have to go through it frame by frame to see it. You miss it. But if you notice that this area Looks very similar to this area. So my guess who's training Rey?
Oh no.
Leia. Leia has taken over her Jedi training because, of course, Leia Poppins is one of the greatest Jedi masters ever. And my guess is that after Rey's training scene, because you remember the scene where they're hugging in the trailer, Leia says, "I must leave you now," and then she just disappears into the Force, like Luke, becomes one with the Force, because that's how JJ rolls.
Well, yeah. What else is he supposed to do? Come on, Matt.
I think he could think of some better ways to handle this, but
she's got to go somehow. You can't knock him for having to work with old footage.
I can.
And he will.
They could have planned out a trilogy and shot them all at once, but no, they couldn't be bothered to do that. So
yeah,
I can blame him all I want.
What's this red sash she has on her arm? That's kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that this is kind of like a callback to the theory that she's a clone of Luke's hand, so they wanted to call attention to her hand. I think it's really just like part of her training thing, like she's got some type of thing tied to her hand. So I mean, who knows? But she catches her lightsaber, which appears to have been fixed after it got destroyed in The Last Jedi.
I don't think JJ recognizes that movie exists.
All she has to do is go to Baku and shell out $200 for a new one at the junk traders. So,
but this is kind of interesting. Like right here, like I don't know if this is part of her outfit or if this is actually some type of scar on her arm.
Yeah, it's weird. Huh?
Definitely looks like a scar. Yeah.
Yeah. And so here's that shot that Alex was referring to of Kylo Ren getting out of his TIE fighter. So that's definitely the TIE fighter that was trying to run down Rey in the trailer.
Yep.
And he's on a very barren, desolate planet with lightning strikes.
That same lightning is from the shot with the Star Destroyers, too.
It's very blue.
I got to say, though, this is a cool shot, man. This guy walking through the snow like that, like he's on a mission. He's doing something.
He looks like he's on the moon. Doesn't look like snow to me.
You don't think that's snow?
There's cracks in the ground here. This is like rocky, sandy.
Yeah, that's dirt.
Huh. White dirt.
You know what this might be? This might be like, so after Rey does the leap over the TIE fighter, he crashes. He gets out, and there's this new force power where when they fight all this stuff like they're flashing back through time or something like that. This might be like the cloud thing that goes around them. So like they're probably in the desert at this point, and this is just like some new force power that Kylo suddenly has, and this is a build up to their final fight. That's going to be my guess.
You're just giving this thing no chance, are you?
Alex, this is a legitimate theory. Come on.
Why is that lightning going up from the ground into the sky? Is that what that looks like right there?
Yes.
I don't know. But if you think my theory's stupid, wait till I'm proven right. And you're like, wow, J.J. Abrams actually put that in the movie.
I'll buy you a drink.
All right. What do we got here? Okay, so here's
yes.
Here's the big money shot. This is where they're Kylo and Rey are actually fighting, and someone pointed out that this is actually the trench from the Death Star right here. You can kind of see this is where the X-Wings went to hit the exhaust
turret over there, right?
It's not the first Death Star, though. It's the second Death Star on Endor. So,
yeah, but it's the same design. It's the Death Star trench.
Maybe.
So they're going to be fighting on this in the middle of the ocean.
Which, I mean, visually, you got to give it to them. Visually, that's cool. I mean, the only thing better than fighting over lava is fighting over the ocean.
We got Pandora Barzad on Twitch saying, "Why, hello there." Hello there, Pandora. It's good to see you guys. We got a comment from Neil. Also, why should I give a crap about Rey and Kylo fighting yet again when Rey beat him twice? That's a good point.
That is...
Like Kylo's basically, going 0 for 2.
Yeah, that's a valid criticism. But again, I feel like JJ is literally just trying to ignore The Last Jedi. Everything that was in that movie is gone in this trailer and in this footage that we've seen.
Neil also said, "Don't get me wrong, it has cool visuals, but I remembered the prior movies." So, Alex, if you remember, The Last Jedi had very cool visuals.
This is true,
but it was terrible.
Yes, different writer, different director. I'm trying to be optimistic.
There was no sign of the Knights of Ren in these clips at all.
No, that is true. But we have seen photos of them, and they've been kind of headlining the visual art style books and all that stuff. So they'll definitely be here.
Our good friend Jesse Miller said Lando's gonna die. I guess he met Billy D. Williams at a convention, and he asked him if he was killed in the new movie, and Billy wouldn't answer him. So he's assuming that Lando's gonna die, and he also thinks that we were looking at a Jawa camp at the beginning there.
I think it could be correct.
He also says this is going to be a movie about global warming because suck it.
Lando's going to go out in a blaze of glory with the Falcon.
Okay, so, and then finally we have Neil saying, "I'm Leia Poppins, y'all."
I hope Kylo wins. Honestly, I hope he just kicks her ass. I want to see him win one time. This poor guy just can't.
Way to support the patriarchy, Alex.
Can't catch a break.
But just to be fair, this is a pretty cool shot right here.
Sure.
JJ is nothing if not a good visualist. Like, he knows how to make these set pieces work. And then we got the Emperors talking over this stuff.
Yeah, he says your journey is at an end, which is an interesting quote. I was trying to dig into what that might mean. Here's the money shot.
Yeah. Here's the big thing.
Boom.
Is
Okay.
that Rey?
It looks like Rey.
It's not Carrie Russell.
No, it definitely looks like Rey, but she's got like one side of her face looks like messed up, like it's almost scarred.
Maybe that's it.
You're right, huh?
We've got the double-bladed lightsaber here, but I mean, like, this obviously, I mean, this looks so CG.
Yeah, it really does.
That I'm thinking that, like, this can't be, a real part of the movie.
Drunk 3PO says that this is a clone.
Well, that's one of the theories. So one of the theories is that Rey is a clone, and that there are other clones that are evil, and that Palpatine planned to unleash these, at some point. The other theory is that this is actually a vision. So this isn't real. This is just a vision of a possible future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's legit to say that basically J.J. Abrams would never do a big plot twist reveal like this in a trailer. Like, he's shown, I mean, just look at Star Trek Into Darkness. Like, he fought tooth and nail to keep the con twist secret, up until the release of the movie. And so, like, if Rey really was going to go dark side, I highly doubt that he'd release it in this sizzle reel from D23, because that's a huge revelation if true.
Yeah,
I think this is more of a fake out than anything. That's my guess. Yeah.
That sounds logical, but why be logical when we can say Rey's going dark and the whole thing's going to get the script is going to flip and we're going to leave off the end of the trilogy is Rey walking off with a red lightsaber and running the Empire.
Well, I think that's the whole point. Like, we were kind of complaining before about how there's no buzz for Episode 9. Like, nobody cares, and so I feel like this is a cheap trick to try to drum up controversy or buzz for this upcoming release, because all the Star Wars faithful are going to be jumping all over this and theorizing and fan fictioning and all types of stuff. I like the idea that the whole cloning thing, because that was set up in some of the extra material that was given to us after The Force Awakens and some novels and stuff. There's a lot of setup for Palpatine having some kind of a crazy base on Jakku where he was doing cloning and stuff like that. It was all hinted at in the extra material. Yeah, heaven forbid they actually put it in the movie.
Yeah, Well, that's Ryan Johnson's fault.
I think it's JJ's fault too. Neil says Episode 8 should have had Rey turn to the dark side and Kylo go back to the light side. It would have made The Force Awakens worth it.
I agree.
I don't know about that. I don't know. And then over on Twitch, got Pandora again. Don't worry, Darth Vader's coming back.
Gotta hope so.
Yeah, one can hope. Let's bring Vader back to save.
Let's have a real bad guy in these movies.
Did we lose Alex again?
I don't know.
His screen just went black.
Man, everything is there. He is.
Sorry, I just got a phone call. That's why.
Oh. Technical difficulties. Okay, so the other big money shot here is this, where
that's pretty wild.
Where
that's cool.
She
I know some people
now has a double-bladed lightsaber, which kind of mirrors her staff technique.
Yep.
But guys, I mean, come on, who here actually believes that Rey is that Disney's going to have their biggest Star Wars princess turn evil?
Not in a million years. It would be the coolest thing ever if they did do it, but it's not going to happen.
I don't think they have the testicular fortitude to pull something like that off. I would
love it, man. If they do it, I will buy into this movie 100%. But like you said, it's very, very unlikely. But I hope they do. I mean, honestly, just go all out, you know?
Well, JJ has gone on record as saying, with this movie, he was just like, F it, I'm going to do whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's the only thing that's the one little nugget of information that I keep trying to hang on to for hope. I'm like, he said he was just going to go all out. So please just go all out.
JJ's biggest thing is that he can't finish anything, right? So maybe he goes like huge on this and just like really finishes it up. And
Kelly Marie Tran, apparently, the actress who plays Rose Tico, Kelly Marie Tran, let it slip that apparently this scene happens towards the end of the movie. When she was doing some type of interview, she was like, I was surprised they showed that because it happens towards the end. And apparently she wasn't supposed to say that. So, in addition, so like my initial theory is that this is some type of vision that Kylo Ren has, that Palpatine's showing him of a possible future. But in addition to that, it could be that this is the cliffhanger that JJ ends the saga on, to show that new Skywalkers are rising up, but now Rey is the evil one that they have to fight against. She's the Darth Vader going forward. I don't know. So that's pretty much all the big footage from the new Star Wars sizzle reel. Let's hit some comments here, and then we can go to your final thoughts. So Pandora says maybe as a spy of sorts, possible fake out. I definitely think this is a fake out. I don't think they'd reveal this big of a plot twist in a sizzle reel release footage. Neil says, I don't. If they did, I'd give JJ a bit of credit, but this is a misdirection. Yeah, they're definitely, I'd give JJ credit if he actually had the balls to turn Rey evil, but I don't think he does. I think that this is a fake out. And I wanted to say hi to my good buddy Mario. Thanks for watching us on Facebook. So, guys, what are your final thoughts on the sizzle reel? Did it get you hyped for episode 9? Are you excited about these developments? What do you think is going to happen in the coming months leading up to the release of this movie? Let's start with you, Alex.
This little, how many seconds was it? Maybe 45 seconds or so of actual episode 9 footage. I'm more excited about The Mandalorian, to tell you the truth. I think that's going to be where I'm going to be heading towards coming up in the next couple of months. But I mean, the trailer looks cool. Of course, trailers are meant to look cool. They're supposed to get you excited. And there's some cool imagery in there. We have no idea what the story is about. But I think they're going to drop that probably sometime in October with the actual official trailer. We might get some plot details. Besides a couple of cool, like almost fan art style stuff that we see, like, oh, here's X-Wings and here's the Star Destroyers and here's Rey with a red lightsaber. Like, that's all cool, but it's not getting me any more hyped for the actual story because I don't know where he's going to go or where he could go with this, with what he was left after Episode 8. So I don't know. We'll see.
What do you think, Mr. Vader?
I think that they gave us just enough to keep us talking about it until an actual trailer drops. There's some flashy pictures in there. Evil Ray and red-eyed 3PO and stuff. It's just fun stuff to me, and I guess we'll see how it goes. I mean, it doesn't get me any more excited about the movie. It's like Alex said. I'm looking more forward to The Mandalorian and what they do on Disney Plus in this movie. I want this trilogy done and over with so we can move on from it personally. So
I'm definitely more excited about the Star Wars TV offerings because I don't like any of the characters of the sequel trilogy. I'm not invested in them.
No.
The Last Jedi left such a bad taste in my mouth that I honestly don't care how this saga concludes at this point.
I agree 100%.
And I would be perfectly fine if after this movie comes out, Disney were to come forward and be like, you know what, we screwed up. We're decanonizing these 3 movies. We're letting Benioff and Weiss redo.
Oh no,
episodes 7 through 9.
no.
I'd be okay with that until those movies turned out to be terrible. Yeah, I mean, I just like Matt said, we got a lot to talk about from this leaked footage, and we'll have more to talk about once the next trailer comes out. Even the poster for this created a lot of talk on the interwebs. But you know what? None of it was very positive talk. All this stuff, it's like people are still not excited to see this movie.
We're all very cynical.
We are,
Right.
and that's because of The Last Jedi. I think if JJ had written and directed all 3 of these movies, we probably wouldn't be as down on them. But because Rian Johnson so screwed the pooch with Episode 8, everyone's just like very bitter. And I mean, when I came out and supported the Mandalorian trailer because I thought it was great and I was really excited to see it, people were like, "Oh, don't get too positive. Disney's going to screw this up." And it's all because of that Episode 8 fallout. It's all because of The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
People just hate Lucasfilm and Disney right now because of The Last Jedi. I mean, that's basically what it all boils down to.
It also has a lot to do with the actions of a couple of Lucasfilm employees. It's just that everybody's in a bad mood after that movie, and I'm honestly like, if you were given the idea, like, okay, here's what Episode 8 did, here's the next episode, you have to finish up this entire saga, finish these character arcs, but you were given The Last Jedi. Like, I don't know, even if the greatest writer or director in the world could come in together and fix this. It's just kind of be like, this is just damage control at this point. So I'm trying really hard to take it easy on JJ. He got handed a freaking bag of scrambled eggs and said, "Here, finish this stuff, see what you can do."
But it was his own darn fault, Alex, because he could have sat down, he could have mapped this stuff out, he could have had at least treatments for the next 2 movies done that he would hand off to these other guys and be like, "Hey, you have to follow these."
I thought he did. I thought
he did.
I thought they had the outline, and then Rian Johnson said, "Threw it away."
Yeah, Daisy really said that JJ had an Episode 8 kind of laid out for what he wanted, and Rian just ignored it.
He might have had like a sentence or 2 for what he wanted, but he didn't have an actual outline or treatment for the scripts going forward. Because you got to remember, Rian Johnson was writing the script as the Force Awakens was being filmed. So that tells me that there was no structure there. Rian Johnson was just free to kind of do whatever he wanted. But even if like they had some treatments done and Rian Johnson threw that away, JJ should have stepped up and be like, "No, you need to follow the plan."
Yeah, but at that point though, JJ was done, right? He wasn't coming back for the 3rd movie. He
wasn't supposed to be coming back to direct any of these things, but because he set the stage, like there should have been someone, either him or Kathleen Kennedy, to kind of stand up and be like, "Hey, we had a plan. You need to follow the plan."
Honestly, you just spelled it out right there. I don't really blame JJ. JJ is just a director. He wrote and kind of set up the first one, which people criticize, and that's totally fine. I understand that. But Kathleen should have gone forward with this character arc and these setups that JJ had done, and Rian Johnson just didn't want to, and she was like, "Okay." It's just
I blame them both personally. I think JJ could have stepped in at any point and been like, "Hey, Ryan, don't go too far afield here," But I don't think they expected it to be that big of a mess when it came out.
I mean, Ryan Johnson said, "Well, he had Luke on an island. I didn't know what to do with him." I'm like, how dumb do you have to be to not know what to do with Luke Skywalker?
Yeah,
like I lay it squarely on his feet and Kathleen Kennedy for not keeping him under control. I don't blame JJ. JJ made a reboot of A New Hope, which is bad enough as it is. You guys can criticize him for that, but there's no excuse for what The Last Jedi was.
Neil makes a good point here. The Last Jedi did what no sequel should ever do, which is write an ending into a corner without a hook. Every great sequel does this. Kung Fu Panda 2, Empire Strikes Back, Infinity War. Yeah, The Last Jedi felt like an end.
That's what Daisy Ridley said in her interview the other day. She was like, "Yeah, my character kind of ended in 8, so I didn't really know where they were going to go with this." It's so crazy.
Hey, thanks for checking out this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. And remember, if you want to support the channel, please check us out on the socials. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Matthew Kadish. You can also find our discussion group over on Facebook at eggfbgroup.com. That's eggfbgroup.com. Takes you right to our Facebook discussion group. And if you'd like to help support the channel, check out my books over on Amazon.com. You can find them by going to kadishbooks.com. That's KADISH books.com. And as always, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time we upload a new video for more movie, TV, and entertainment news and analysis. This is Matthew Kadish. I'll catch you guys later.